Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 21st of June 2024. So, bullion and black gold bid, but bad news for big tech. Nvidia's worst day in 2 months as macro data dumped to its weakest in 5 years. So maybe we've seen that turning point. So US stock markets were mostly lower amid tech weakness, firmer yields and soft data ahead of quad witching, which is today. So we've got the quad witching of the options, the futures, the index futures and the stock futures and options today. That can be a bit volatile. And tech weakness hit stocks ahead of quad witching. And of course there was a bit of dovish Bank of England news yesterday as well, that there could be a rate cut in the autumn. Economic news today, Friday, it's retail sales out at 7 a.m. Then the flash news for the whole of the morning and this afternoon for the US there, which can make the market slightly volatile along with quad witching. It could make it a bit sideways and volatile come 1:30. Okay, let's have a look at the markets from yesterday. See how the the sell-off in tech affected the markets across the board. And we'll kick off with the Dow. And starting with the Dow, doesn't seem to be that disappointing, but it is the broader market that was affected by the tech sell-off, as also the bullishness and the all-time highs and the 3 trillion valuation of Nvidia was also part of the S&P 500 moving stocks higher. But yesterday the Dow managed to move higher, taking out the resistance that had been there on the left, as you can see there, through 39,159, so heading back towards that 40,000 at the moment. There you can see, following the news, this moving higher. Fairly quiet into the Bank of England, which was rate decision, which was predictable that rates would remain unchanged, and they did. Overnight the market sitting at the close, but again you can see all of the averages are lined up quite nicely there for a Friday to move higher once the quad witching is out of the way. And in the German DAX, also moving up yesterday. A bit of supply around though, as the market tried to move higher. The range of the bar was less than the day before, and the market there struggling. However, that said, they haven't corrected this bad tick that we had on this day, so you can take this low with a pinch of salt. So maybe there wasn't supply, as can be seen here, not according to the Trade Nation platform anyway. But the market up, and overnight prices are currently sideways. We'll look at the 30-minute chart, and there you can see a bit choppy yesterday, up, then pulling back to the 50 EMA, and then remaining above the 20 EMA overnight, sitting on the 20 EMA, above the DP, the 50 EMA and the 200 MA as well. So price is trying to get back to yesterday's high for the German DAX. Well, the S&P 500, it went through the 5,500, and as I mentioned in the last 2 days, it's a psychological level. It went through to 55.16, and then it ended. The party was over yesterday. You can see the selling there, Nvidia moving lower, and prices trading back below the previous all-time high that we had marked up a couple of days ago. So this is the new all-time high, 55.16. Depending on what happens today, it could move back up. It's a classic case of, as I mentioned yesterday and the day before, when you hit these major psychological levels, you get profit taking. That gets out of the way, then you can move the market back. But interesting to see that this chart pattern is the polar opposite of what happened in the Dow during yesterday. But the market recovering in the 30-minute chart at the 200 MA there. Meanwhile, in the FT 100, the dovish speak from Bailey sent the market moving to the upside, currently trading at 8274. And you can see there's some resistance to the left there. Whether this holds today, we would just have to wait and see if there's any follow through this morning. But that's 8304. And in the 30-minute chart, you can see the market moving higher. Don't know what's happening to this Trade Nation data, but that's never going to be right overnight either. I need to send them an email about this, because that's not right at all. Overnight prices obviously still on the buy side there in the 30-minute chart, with all of the averages in the right order at the moment, apart from the 5 MA, which is just below the 20. That needs to get back above this level. US dollar up yesterday, and you can see that there, very good move for the dollar to the upside, and you'd expect the same. The opposite for both gold and silver, but that wasn't the case at all. So let's have a look at those. And in the silver market, nice move to the upside yesterday. Still got a long way to go to get back to the highs that we've had recently, but at the moment it's being allowed to move higher. It's the 32.50 that's giving the market grief. Every time it gets anywhere near this level, the markets are then moved back to the downside. Yesterday, this is in reaction to the news. Market up overnight, though, an opportunity where it's quieter to bring it back, stop it getting above that 32.50. In gold, we've broken out of that sideways move that we have looked at for the last few days. You can see that there, it's now taken this out and moving back to the upside there. 30-minute chart moving higher there as well and continuing to trade above the close. In the gold-silver ratio, yesterday silver moving better than gold or faster than gold, but overnight things have changed slightly with gold moving more positively, and of course that bit of a sell-off that they've got in the 30-minute chart of silver weighing on the gold-silver ratio there. Overnight fix in Shanghai is at 34.52, way above the 32.50 level, and yesterday's fix was at 30.23. Right, let's have a quick look at yesterday's trade, see what happened there. So yesterday in the pre-market, prices were sideways. We then kicked off. I wasn't at the desk yesterday morning. I had other things to attend to. But you can see that prices there, first one out of the gate, moving back up towards the high. I mentioned this in yesterday morning's alert as well, that they'd probably gone for the high because it was closer than the low. And you can see there the market, when it did sell, it only went down to the BRN and the 50 EMA, which is enough to find support and try and get the market back above the high. As I've mentioned a million times, and I will continue to do so, if in the bull market, if you can get above the previous day's high, that's great. If you're anywhere near the low, you'll want to buy it, because the market will continue, or try and continue, with its bullishness, as we've seen with the S&P for the last few weeks. Another potential sell there, trading down to the BRN. This time we go through with some selling, as can be seen by the full red bar, and then down to the R1, but we notice a bit of green coming into this red bar, indicating that there's some buying around, and then the market moves back to the high. Another potential signal, but that's stopped out before it's filled, and then we have another potential sell there, but market coming back and stopping that one out, which is no surprise when you go back and look at the other two, because every time they got down to the scalp, apart from this one where it went a bit further, they just kept wanting to bring the market back, and that's precisely what they did there, back above the high into the morning session there, or mid-morning, and then drifting back below the high, then waiting for the news, and then moving down slightly before then moving back up in the afternoon. Again, we see the sell side fail as they brought the market back, and then it just continued to the upside, and I got out too early in this trade. I thought, well, we're getting close to the BRN, never make the decision. Well, we went through the high, and I thought, well, we're okay here, we've gone through the high. So as we got to the high, take the money off the table, and then of course it just continued, didn't it, until a bit later on, and then started to make its way down. Notice how it got found support at the two averages there, and the green in the red, which indicates a bit of buying there. Prices then sideways to higher, and then moving through, and then going back to the R2. And if we just come back to this here, also just to reiterate the point, we're sitting at the high there as well. So prices back through the R2 before the close of the session there, before moving on to the electronic one. So there we go. And overnight, quick look, we're not far off yesterday's high once more. It's Friday. They like to get the markets or finish on a positive note for the weekend if they can. Just the quad witching and the flash news in the way of this today. Okay, that's it for this one and for this week. So have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine, and hopefully I will see you in Monday's market alert. So as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.